Hello there and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be looking at the Liverpool squad and what maybe needs to be done to it for next season. What is happening to it and what needs to be done for it for next season. Now there might not be names, people that we're going to be linked with. There might not be names, but it might be positions that we either need to strengthen or replace. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Obviously, we've made some progress already with the signing of Konate from RB Leipzig, and that's great. That's fantastic. That's good strengthening of the back line as well. But with some players probably expected to move on, and some that are already going to be moving on anyway, what can Liverpool do in this transfer window or will they do anything in this transfer window to either supplement or replace players that could be or are leaving? Let me know what you think in the comments below. We're just going to get straight into the squad here. It's easier just to look at the squad and just go through it bit by bit. So goalkeeping situation, apparently Adrian is going to be on the receiving end of another contract extension, which apparently he's going to be put back to number 2. This is apparently, but as I say, I would much prefer Kelleher to be number 2 to Alisson. But whatever, I don't make the decisions. If I did make the decisions, I think that Adrian has had his time. He's done some good things. Obviously, he did some great things in the Super Cup win that we had, but also was instrumental in us getting knocked out of the Champions League at one point against Atletico Madrid, and hasn't really picked up anything since then. I never will forget the Aston Villa game where made mistakes with his distribution. Obviously it's not entirely just his fault that we got beat 7-2, but a large part of it was down to a couple of errors that he made as well. I'm still going to have anxiety if I ever see Adrian's name on a team sheet. It's just going to fill me with anxiety straight away, regardless of whether we end up having Virgil van Dijk, Konate, Gomez in front of them. It just is what it is, isn't it? So we move forward, we move through to the defenders. Obviously Ozan Kabak isn't going to be here, and it will be Konate as well. Who might be going out on loan? I have no idea. Out of all of these guys, could Nat Phillips be going out on loan? Could Reece Williams go out on loan? Could Nat Phillips be sold? I don't know. I think he's achieved cult hero status with Liverpool fans, and it would be actually really difficult to see him go because he played really, really well, in my opinion. Reece Williams most likely should go out on loan. Ben Davies, I have no idea because we haven't seen him play. We don't know his qualities. I don't know his qualities. Anyone can turn around and say, they've seen what he's done at Preston or whatever, but we don't know his qualities in a Liverpool shirt. Joel Matip and Joe Gomez, they're not question marks, but it's who is going to be recognised as the normal starter. With these two, they always suffer injuries. Always suffer injuries, and it makes sense to bring in someone like Konate to ease that burden just a little bit. But Matip cannot go more than 2 games, 3 games without picking up an injury. Gomez, whenever he picks up an injury, he can go consecutive games, but if he picks up an injury, that's it, 3-4 months minimum, always. I don't know whether it's just like a growing thing or whatever. Do Liverpool need to strengthen in the fullback areas? We got in Tsimikas. He played the other day for his nation and he looked great. He looked really, really good. Could barely get a look in at Liverpool. He did have injury issues over the course of the season, and Andy Robertson is just a machine. It's really, really difficult for anyone to come in and expect to compete with Andy Robertson because his elite levels of fitness and lack of injuries, touch wood, have been absolutely instrumental for that at least little bit of consistency we had in the back line this season. Trent, exceptional right back. You're never going to get a right back that's going to be able to replicate what he does. He is the only one in the world that does what he does from right back right now. Nico Williams is a very good option, someone that needs development. Do we need to go out and buy a right back or a left back? In my opinion, probably not. Probably not. If these guys can actually, if they accept that they're going to be behind Trent and Robertson, then fair play. But they might not at some point. They might want to get out there and play regular football first team football as well. Midfield, there's already going to be a change. Gini Wijnaldum will no longer be with us and is most likely now, instead of Barcelona, is most likely to join PSG because they absolutely whacked up his the wages that he was going to earn. I love Gini Wijnaldum. Now, Gini come out and said that there's more to the story of him leaving Liverpool and it will come out one day. I'd rather that he didn't go down this sort of route, and because we know that the club as a standing right now, with the whole ESL stuff, it's not in good standing. It doesn't need to be buried further by Gini Wijnaldum, who has said that his move is not calculated by money and it was never influenced by money. So it would have made sense for him to go to Barcelona then, but all of a sudden PSG decide to double his wages that Liverpool were never going to pay. Anybody that's in outrage about us not keeping Gini Wijnaldum, I think it would have been great for us to keep him. But if those were the sorts of wages that he was looking for, there's no way Liverpool were going to pay that. No way were they going to pay that for Gini Wijnaldum. So we are going to see someone in midfield change. Now, what will most likely happen, instead of a transfer coming in, because we've been linked, a long time ago we were linked to Renato Sanchez from Lille, I think it was, as well as a host of other sort of midfielders as well. What will most likely happen is Curtis Jones is going to take Gini Wijnaldum's place. And some people might not like that. You could look at Naby Keita, but you also can't. Because Naby Keita's a fantastic player, but similar to Joel Matip. Like, he's a fantastic player, but he's never injury-free enough to actually get properly into match rhythms to really show his influence, what he can do in a game, because he's too injured. Curtis Jones is most likely going to take that place, and you'll see a midfield more akin with a Jordan Henderson, Curtis Jones and Fabinho sort of midfield next season. That's more likely what you're going to see. Or Thiago as well. It's not like we're short in midfielders. Going out there and buying another one, you're probably going to see others get shipped out as well. One that could get shipped out is possibly Xherdan Shaqiri, classed as a midfielder. I see him as a forward, in my opinion. I do. I see him as a forward. Same with Woodburn as well. I think that Shaqiri will probably move on, purely because his game time is down. I know Klopp has said that these guys will get more chances next season and stuff like that as well. They've got more chances of getting into the team, into the squad, and influencing from there. He's had some injury issues himself, but he might want to move on. I'm not sure, unless he's comfortable with a bench position. I'm not sure. Not entirely sure. So what happens with that position right there? Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott is the one, in my opinion, that comes in and takes Shaqiri's place. He's had an exceptional season at Blackburn. Really, really, really high level performances that he's had there. Really good influence on that team as well. Was one of their chief creators as well, and scored some really good goals. Still very young, 17. I think he's only 17. I don't think he's 18 yet. So many years of development left in him. I think that he would come in and take Shaqiri's place. Now, some people would say, whoa, he's 17. How can he take Shaqiri's place? Probably quite easily, to be honest, because he's still got legs. I'm not saying that Shaqiri hasn't, but he's got pace. He's got good dribbling ability. The closest play style that people have said that he looks like, without actually being him, is quite close to a Salah. Good left foot as well. Good delivery, good vision, good ability to pick out a pass, good ability to score as well. And it saves Liverpool going into the transfer market. That's what it makes sense to me. Another midfielder that will be coming back to us is Marco Grujic from Porto, I think it is. Will Grujic get a chance at Liverpool? Probably not. He plays well in pre-seasons and then gets loaned out. And I think he's not like 21, 22 anymore. He's like maybe 25. And will be looking to enter his prime years as a footballer, probably as a starting midfielder. Apparently Porto love him, and that will most likely be his destination. I like the look of Grujic. I think that Grujic could be a good player for Liverpool. Could be someone that could, while they're not the same players, could take that Genie Wijnaldum spot, or at least enforce it. But he's used to first team football, he's used to playing a lot now, he's probably going to get moved on, most likely. Then we come into the forward positions as well, and actually see we've got a good amount of people that are on loan right here as well. Minamino we will talk about. Divock Origi is probably going to get moved on. Divock Origi is a cult hero for the goals that he scored against Everton and the goals that he scored in the Champions League for us. Exceptional, fantastic, unbelievable. But his influence is going to be a lot less. It really, if it isn't already less right now. I think it's one contributing thing that he had this season that sticks out in my mind is a whipped cross into Mane, and I can't remember who it was against, and it was very, very good. But his features have been just not enough this season, and whether that's down to Klopp, whatever, but whenever Origi did come on the pitch, never really seemed to do a lot. Didn't really do much. And for that, I think that he will get moved on. Then, as I said before, I class Shaqiri as a forward player. I also class Harvey Elliott as a forward player as well. But what it does leave Liverpool without, again, is a forward, a centre forward, a number 9. He's the closest thing we've got to it, and he's nowhere near a proper out and out number 9, like a striker. We will just have Salah, Mane, Firmino, Jota, Harvey Elliott, Shaqiri, Minamino as well, coming back to us. I've always wanted us over the last couple of seasons, that we go out and get the ideal situation would be for us to go and land Erling Haaland, but that looks like he's going to Chelsea. Unreal, because he's literally something completely different and an out and out striker, a goal scorer. We don't have that. We've got Bobby Firmino, who I love, fantastic, and I think we all love. I think we love the players that we have, but we definitely miss the top of the tree. The top of the tree. Like, we might have won, yes, we've won the Champions League, we've won the Premier League as well, but having someone that can take the goal scoring burden off a Sadio Mane, off a Firmino, a Jota, a Salah, and actually just be there for goals is someone that I think that we've missed a lot. And I don't think that we're going to get it, in my opinion. I think coming back on loan, off loan, Harvey Elliott, I'm excited to see him play. Minamino, I don't think should have ever gone on loan. I really don't think he should ever have gone on loan. Not at all. Because I think he still could have contributed to us and given us some different options in attack when we were struggling. Like that period when he went on loan and we couldn't win games. Like, he had a great performance against Crystal Palace in the 7-0. Who didn't? But he stood out because I was like, this is the game that Minamino's going to... He's come out, and at the end of the game, you're just thinking, wow, that is exactly what we wanted from Minamino. Really good performance, assured performance, and it was confident as well. And then we went and loaned him out. It just looked like we didn't have a plan for him, didn't know how to integrate him as well, like properly into the team. I was disappointed because I was disappointed in Liverpool, not the player, because I like Minamino. I think with confidence he can deliver quite a lot for us, and I hope that he will. But the rumours are that he's going to get sold, and I think that that's a really bad idea, especially because I don't think that Liverpool are going to go heavy in the transfer market that people want. I accept that. I know how Liverpool work. And I'm not saying that other people don't, but we know how Liverpool work. If they can go out and they have the money, the finances behind buying big players, they will go do it. It's not a coincidence that obviously selling Coutinho and bringing in Virgil van Dijk and Alisson, massive signings. But it wasn't them injecting 130 odd, 140 million. It's because they'd sold 140 million's worth of player. We're not doing that right now. We're not selling that amount of money. We're not selling a player for that amount of money. So it makes sense that Liverpool aren't going to all of a sudden just be like, oh, we'll go in for Harry Kane. Oh, we'll go in for an Erling Haaland. It's not going to happen. And by the looks of it, yes, Haaland has a release clause next season. I think he'll be moving before then, just by how everything seems to be playing out at the moment. That's just how I see it. That's how I feel it. Um, so yeah, I think we will need a forward coming in, but I also think that Liverpool will supplement it with forward coming back on like from loans in Minamino and Harvey Elliott as well. That's my personal feeling. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And about the others, Awoniyi, I don't know anything about him. I know it took him I think it took him ages to get a work permit of some sort. I think the kit that he's in is from like 3 years ago as well in this picture. Grabara, again, not a great deal of knowledge about what he's doing. Ojo, is he actually on loan? Like, because wasn't he with Rangers? Not sure, but that is one old kit. Harry Wilson, always been the one that I felt like I would love it to work for him. And I just don't think it will. Don't think he's going to get his chance. Van den Berg most likely will go back on loan. I think he had a good time out at Preston. I think they liked him as well. See, I think he ended up playing right back for quite a lot as well. Like he's like a 6'5" right back, unreal. But good for his development as well. And Karius, I like Karius. I would prefer Karius at this club over Adrian still. I would. I really would, but I think he'll get moved on as well. There's a lot to do. It sounds like there isn't much to do, but there's also a lot to do because I'm fully expecting Liverpool to basically walk into the Premier League next season with a very similar squad that we had in the last season and the season before that. And the bad thing that Liverpool could get into here is where you don't refresh your squad as you go along. So after winning, I will say, and I don't like saying it, but it's the one thing that I can appreciate Sir Alex Ferguson for, is the fact that he turned over his squad, if not every year, it was every couple of years, and refreshed positions when he could, and that is exactly what you need. If you want to continue success, keep some of the cornerstones, absolutely. I don't want to see a team that doesn't have Alisson, Van Dijk, Fabinho in it. The forwards we've got, Mane, Salah, Jota, all those guys. But if we don't keep refreshing and we keep going in with the same sort of, these are very good players that we've got and they can compete, absolutely. But there will come a point in time where you don't want to get to, say, like an Arsenal, where a lot of their fans right now are saying that this squad needs an overhaul. Like the entire squad needs an overhaul. It's too expensive to do that. It's too expensive to get to a position where you have to overhaul your entire squad and then you almost get left threadbare and you're not going to get the results and performances that you used to. That's what Liverpool have to avoid here. Yes, they're not going to invest the massive amount of money that they possibly need to in this team, but they need to do something. Whether it's bringing in another forward with forwards leaving, whether it's bringing in another midfielder with a midfielder leaving as well. There's work to be done. There's definitely work to be done for Liverpool, and I'm just not entirely sure whether Liverpool will go out and do it. So this might not seem like the most positive video, but I think it's actually good to look at and literally look it in the face and say, this is probably not going to happen. Like, I know we're linked to a guy from Salzburg, Patson Daka as well, and by all accounts looks like a good quick forward. He's got good numbers, great. Haven't seen the guy play myself. I'm just going to be honest with you. A quick forward, looks, he's got good height as well. Could be something different. Could be exactly what we need in the front line. Will Liverpool actually go and pull the trigger on it though? I don't know. My heart tends to lean me more towards, no, we won't. No, we won't. Most likely not. And that's disappointing. But we've just got to sort of wait and see what happens. I don't want to get into doing what a lot of YouTube channels do, and they do like these transfer videos on a daily basis. There's no other reason for doing that other than just for getting views in. Like saying Liverpool are linked to Harry Kane because of Carlton Cole's comments on TalkSport. No, that's not what I do this for, and I would feel so ingenuous doing that, like doing a transfer daily where like if we go back years and when we used to get linked to like Higuain and stuff like that in his prime, and we were nowhere near getting stuff like that done. I don't like doing it. I like doing things when they're confirmed or when they're very near confirmed. You're not going to get daily transfer videos from me because to me, it's just pointless hype and it doesn't really go anywhere. Maybe like 1 out of 10 would hit and it'd be like, that's the guy you've signed. But these other 10 videos that you've made, what the hell? What were you thinking? That's not what I do. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below about all of this anyway. Going through the Liverpool squad that we've got here, where do you feel is most important for Liverpool to strengthen now? Now we've got Konate coming in, what's the next position? For me, it's forwards. For me, it's forwards. We need something different up front. That's where we struggle. That is where we struggle. You can talk about creativity all you want, but for me, it's about someone being a finisher in the box. Someone that's going to be there on the end of balls or to even finish a move off. That's what it's about, and that's just sort of, apart from Salah and Jota as well, we've not really had that this season, and we could struggle next season as well. Got players going off to the African Cup of Nations as well, if that's still happening, if that's still going ahead. There's a lot of variables coming up in the next season that's going to make it a little bit more difficult than we expect. But hey, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you once again. Do take care of yourselves. Have a good week, and I'll catch you later.